Yo, it is what it is with Triggz. Right now, right here, we got Playing for Keeps with my brother 212 Heat. Right there was my Lord CBD General from Mount Jewel doing chin-ups. A lot of this footage was taken over 10 years, 10 to 15 years. Back when I was deep in the game. Bloodline, Sydney, Australia. Listen carefully to these lyrics.
Down, don't be shot down. Talk it up and get shot down. Run it up, fuck it up and get checked out. I run shotgun, I need that hardy boy, short body boy. When I lean out, lights out. Chop clap 50 stack like that. Bloodline murk down for the gang, playing for keeps.
You've never heard lyrics like this, all right? Not only are they real, but these types of lyrics can only come from someone that's been there, done it, all right? Yeah, there's lyrics that you hear from guys who are not about it, but it's not as hard hitting and as raw as these lyrics that are coming out of 212 Heat. Now, the reason why he called this song Playing for Keeps was because of people like that Mussy Rookie who tried to say he was about it. And also because of people like the person that started up the clothing line G-Dub. This guy went and put Playing for Keeps on his jumper, you know, and he put it on there trying to glorify gang life, glorify all this rubbish that's happening on the streets. You know, didn't even think about the innocent people that are getting kidnapped or killed on the streets. He simply just put it on there because he thought it was cool for the younger generation to walk around with jumpers or shirts that had Playing for Keeps on it. And obviously you hear these words constantly when it's about people getting killed or people in the underworld saying that they're about it. Listen carefully to the lyrics.
Bloodline real murk for the gang, read them and wait. Down, don't be shot down. Playing for keeps, read them and wait. Read them and real talk, that real walk, that real shit for the gang shit. Hit a headshot, watch your hand bitch and a red dot. That's a brace beat, best believe. Ain't got trust for the bloodline. 2 guns up, cross bloodline. Guns real bust, get touched. Hit him with a face shot, he lean. Told me off talking up big game. He ain't happy now, boy ran his mouth and underestimating his game. So he dropped a clips through his mother's house. He got hit and settled him down. What now? He's in a wheelchair, Iangale. Shit through a bag in the bad man stutters now, Iangale. Bloodline murk down for the gang, playing for keeps.
So you can clearly see that through all these footages, the boys are having fun, the boys are enjoying themselves, boys are obviously making a lot of money. But when it comes down to it, the reason why I get online and I talk about gang rubbish is to highlight to the younger generation that it's not the life to live. All this stuff that you're seeing on my brother's music video clips is all raw and real footage of things that we were going through when we were killing it, yeah? But guess what? As soon as I got 10 years in prison, boom, everyone disappeared. As soon as I went back into prison for 7 years, boom, all the boys disappeared. And I'm not saying this trying to put anyone down. I don't blame them for disappearing. They had their own lives to live. They had their families to take care of. They had their wives and kids to take care of. And that's the reason why I never complained. I didn't care. I did my time like a man, you know, like a gangster. And when I got out, just like that, everyone came back acting like I had never left or acting like they had stuck by me through thick and thin when no one did. This is the reason why I get online, I explain this stuff to you guys, because I don't want you going inside jail. All this stuff that you're seeing right now is all the good times. But during the worst of the worst times, there was no one around.
Bloodline real murk for the gang, read them and wait. Bow down, don't be shot down. Talk it up and get shot down. Run it up, fuck it up and get checked out. I run shotgun, I need that hardy boy, short body boy. When I lean out, lights out. Chop clap 50 stack like that. Bloodline murk down for the gang, playing for keeps. Bloodline real murk for the gang, read them and wait. Bow down, don't be shot down. Playing for keeps, read them and wait. SYD, southwest of the field. City of knock block, capital kill. Hot, drop the 38 steel. Can you believe it? Sydney City hot. Hella hot. Talk to pigs, you get knocked. Get caught slipping, get knocked. You go missing, that's knocked. Fuck you, stick him up for his chain. Talking them Charlie bricks all day. It ain't a robbery fee game. That's called an intercept, little man. Sydney City, that's where I'll bang. Playing for boss sitting back down, fucking leg shot, blows back out, raise a cup, fry, heat dripping out, pump, kick back, blows rains down. Shoot first, no questions. How the fuck you gonna answer back if he laid out, straight out?
You tell me, is there anyone out there in Australia and New Zealand that has lyrics as bad as these? You tell me. Only reason why I'm saying it is because I've listened to all the songs since I've got out of prison. Yeah, they sound hectic. Yeah, they sound like they're about it. Yeah, they sound like, you know, guys that won't take a backward step. But these lyrics here, real and raw as it is, I want you to tell me in the comment section, yeah? Not knowing who my brother is, not knowing anything that you saw on Google, yeah? Tell me what you think about my brother's lyrics and the way he carries himself on the music video clip. Tell me whether you think that he's more real than anyone that you've seen come out of Australia and New Zealand. I'm not talking about UK, America and all that, yeah, because I'm just talking about, you know, my country. And obviously New Zealand, you know, is neighboring country of ours as well, you know, where I also grew up in New Zealand. The only reason why I'm saying this is because when I hear, you know, my brother's lyric come out and it comes with that that hate, you know, and it's not hate from like, yeah, I'm ready to bang or ready to gang. Nah, it's raw. You know, that those lyrics that are coming out of his mouth is raw sincerity, because he'd been through it. You know, he's lived it. That's all I'm saying. You know, I'm not talking about how good it is. I'm not talking about his song is better than this song, or his song is number one. No, I'm not saying that. All I'm saying is listen carefully to the lyrics, listen to the way he delivers, and you tell me whether you think he's much more realer than the rest in Australia and New Zealand. And it's not a competition. I'm simply just trying to get your guys' opinion.
Bloodline murk down for the gang, playing for keeps. Bloodline real murk for the gang, read them and wait. Bow down, or be shot down. Talk it up and get shot down. Run it up, fuck it up and get checked out. I run shot down.
That right there is when my brother and I got arrested in 2018. We both got arrested for a large amount of guns, drugs, and money. There's nothing else to be said about it. Just listen carefully to the lyrics. See right there? That's my brother when he was swearing at the cameraman and pretty much threatening the cameraman and the police that were trying to hold his handcuffs. So this is the money and the guns that we got caught with. They said it was over $2.7 million that we got caught with. But like I've highlighted on my lives, there was way more than that. And I stated the fact that cops stole a large chunk of the money. And I obviously had the evidence to back that, that no one else could have stolen that money. And I'm not gonna get into it. Like, that's the past. I've moved on from it. And like criminals get away with shit, the cops get away with shit. So it is what it is in Triggz.
Down for the gang, playing for keeps. Bloodline real murk for the gang, read them and wait.
This footage here, you've probably seen it a few times now where it looked the same cars, looks like the same place where everyone's got arrested. This was up at going towards Wollongong. There was a large amount of us, well, I wasn't there, I was inside prison, but a large amount of the boys who was headed up there to, to a club where my brother was going to perform, but also to a restaurant that wanted us to be a part of our shoot, because we were shooting a docu-series, yeah? And the cops, they actually went above and beyond and out of their way to go and tell the restaurant not to let the boys in their restaurant because they're all violent, gang-related families. There was three different families that had made their way up there. And everyone that was headed up there was just supporting me and my movement. My wife was the one that was in charge of the docu-series, so obviously she was the head of the movement while I was inside prison. But all the boys and the families that turned up that day was just there to support. But the police, Raptor from Sydney, headed up to Wollongong, pulled everyone over and searched them twice. Like, you don't understand. When you see my podcast that shows what Raptor and police officers did to my people during this moment, you guys are gonna spin out. It was like ridiculous. Like, my people were up there doing something legit, doing something with their lives that's got nothing to do with the gang rubbish that you see on a daily basis. And they weren't even shooting a music video clip. It was simply just a dinner, and then my brother was going to perform and everyone was there supporting. And they spent all those taxpayer money to get Raptor up there at Wollongong waiting for my people. And not only did they search them once before they had dinner, they searched them twice. And yeah, big love and respects to that restaurant for allowing my people to be there that day. Don't worry, guys, I'm gonna highlight yous as soon as I do my podcast. This right here is just a music reaction, but once I do the podcast, I'm gonna put you guys everywhere in the limelight. You know.
Down, no be shot down. Playing for keeps, read them and wink, read them and wink. Down for the gang, playing for keeps. Blood long room work for the gang, read them and wait. Blood long work down for the gang, playing for keeps.
So that footage that was shown was footage that was taken inside prison of where I'm beating someone up. To cut a long story short, there's a lot of corruption with police and prison officers. That fight, it happened because that guy had done something stupid, which got prison officer caught for doing things for the boys inside prison. And the only way I could get over my anger was to have a one-on-one with him. And obviously the boys wanted to do what needed to be done to put him away, but I wouldn't allow it. It's like, no, like, I just want to teach him a lesson and we'll leave it at that. But the amount of money that was lost, over $60,000 because of his stupidity, you know, that's the reason why that incident occurred. Nothing to glorify, as I always say, but if you want to live this type of life, youngsters, this is the rubbish you got to put up with.
Down, no be shot down. Playing for keeps, read them and wait, read them and wait.
And to end this song, it obviously ends with a picture of myself in the front of 44 men. On this day, I attended the funeral of a close brother of mine named Mick Howie. Now, my brother Mick Howie, if you Google his name, he was the head of the Comanchero bikie gang. And he was brutally murdered after leaving a gym and getting into his car. On this day, we showed how powerful we were. A lot of different gangs turned up that day, and we turned up on purpose with big numbers to show all the other gangs how much love we had for Mick Howie. He was family, you know, we considered him blood, even though he wasn't blood. But the amount of things that Mick Howie did for my parents while I was locked up, that's what made me consider him one of a kind. But, as I always explain to you, younger generation, who were the ones that was behind his murder? Guess, those that were closest to him. Even with all these other murders that are occurring on the streets, All these guys were friends. All these guys were so-called brothers, and all these guys considered themselves family. And now they're all killing each other. And that's what happened to the brother Mikawi. Those boys that he brought up when they were nobodies, those boys that he took care of when they were living on the streets, these were the ones that turned on him over envy. You know? I understand that there was a lot going on back then, but he had sat with me on many dinners and explained to me that he's over the bikie life. You know, he was stubborn once upon a time. He didn't want to leave the Comanchero gang without getting his vengeance. And when I say his revenge, I'm not talking about violently. He just wanted to get revenge in a sense where his boys had turned on him. So he wanted to be as successful as possible to show them, you kicked me to the curb. Now watch what I'm going to do on my own. That's what his plan was. But then, you know, it was his time. When God calls upon you, God calls upon you. It is what it is. You can't stop the inevitable, especially when you're living this type of life. When you dare to live the gang life, it's inevitable that you're going to meet either your demise or end up in jail for the rest of your life. This is Triggz. It is what it is. Love ya. Live and learn.